Okay, so our main card, right? We have 4 fights before we get to our final 2, and we open up with the bantamweights. We have Santiago Luna against Quang Lee. So, with this one, right? Lee, he is 33, 5'6", 70-inch reach. Oh, and I should say the nickname is Bang. He's got a 9-2 record, coming off a win in his last outing. Right, he's gone 1-2 in the UFC. Did go 7-0 in LFA. Right, he last fought May this year. He beat Gaston Bolanos, second round rear naked choke. He lost to Long Zhao, third round stoppage. That was November 2024. Chris Gutierrez, that was a unanimous decision in August 24. Now, he did, so that was his UFC debut, and then the next one. So, but he has rebounded with a win, so he's turning things around, right? Coming into the UFC, as I said, he went 7-0 in LFA, so, a couple of those fights were, knockouts, and one was a rear naked choke. He got a unanimous decision and a split decision. So before he's also had another rear naked and a neck crank. So he's got a few submissions, a few knockouts. You know what I mean? So he is going up against Santiago Boulder Boy Luna. Boulder Boy, I don't know. He's 21. He's 5'9". We don't have a reach. He's on a 6-fight win streak in his pro career. 9-fight wins overall. So he he last fought May this year. Got a first round stoppage against Desmond Monabat. Monabat, he did have a 4-6 record. Right, he's got. He does like a submission. Right, he had 2 in his amateur career, and he's had 4 in his pro. Right, and the other wins have been a third round and a first round knockout. So yeah, that's been him. So he is coming in with a lot of swag, right? A lot of confidence. Now I say Lee is coming off a win, but it does look like on paper, that Luna might have the better submission skills. But again, it kind of all depends on the quality of your opposition, right? So there is that. But, you know what? As you know, people, I do like to throw my hat behind an underdog every now and again. So I am going for Luna to have a good debut, right? And I think because he's making his debut, Lee wants to put together a win streak. This could be a very good opener to our main card. Right, so we then go to the lightweights. We have Alexander Hernandez against Carlos Diego Ferreira. Right, which yeah, it feels like it wasn't that long ago that Hernandez fought, right? But Diego Ferreira, right? He's 40, 5'9", 74-inch reach. He's got a 19-6 overall record, coming off a loss in his last outing. Right? He's fighting out of Fortis MMA. He is 10-6 in the UFC. So last time out, he lost to a unanimous decision to Grant Dawson. That was in January this year. He has a win over Mateusz Rubecki. Very good win. 3rd round stoppage. That was May 2024. He stopped Michael Johnson. 2nd round stoppage. If I remember right, I think Johnson had a good first. And then he got caught. You know? Yes, he lost to Mateusz Gamrot, Gregor Gillespie, who we haven't seen Gregor Gillespie in a long-ass time. Right? Yeah, I wonder what's happened to Gillespie. Lost to Benil Dariush, but that's all quality opposition. He does have a win over Anthony Pettis. That came in January 2020, right? So he made his UFC debut all the way back in June 2014. 1st round rear naked choke over Colton Smith. So he's been around for a long time, you know. Beat Ramsey Nugent, former Ultimate Fighter winner. Right, so he won his first 2 fights, but then he, ran into Benil the first time and Dustin Poirier, Yeah, he's fought some good opposition, right? Definitely has. He is going up against, as I said, Alexander the Great Ape Hernandez, who is 32, 5'9", 72-inch reach. He's 17-8, and he's currently on a 3-fight win streak. So I think ever since him and his people kind of slightly branched off from Factory X, right? They've put something good together, it seems, right? He's 9 and 7 in the UFC, has a win in the LFA, and last time out he stopped Chase Cooper, right? Yeah, that was August, right? The 16th of August this year. But I guess it was a, first round stoppage. He didn't really take any damage, so. I think he did call for this because, he does have Mexican heritage. So fighting on Noche UFC, I can see the draw, right? And if you didn't take any damage, why not, right? So, he beat Austin Hubbard, Kurt Harabar, and then Chase Hooper. So good wins, good wins. Right, as I say, he's had his slip-ups, but the thing with Hernandez, when he is on, he is good. But it was hard to commit to him. But I do think he has now found his flow, right? The camp is right. Everything seems to be right. So, I think I'm going to take Alexander Hernandez, right? So hopefully he does not let me down. Right, so we go to the middleweights next. We have Kelvin Gastelum against Dustin Stoltzfus. Right, so Dustin Stoltzfus, he is 33, 6 foot, 75-inch reach. He's 16-7, coming off a loss in his last fight. He is 3-6 in the UFC. He came via the Contender Series, mentioned earlier. He beat Zachary Reese, right? It's kind of, I think it was an arm dislocation, if I remember correctly. No, actually, that was someone completely different. Yeah, I think. I forget. I want to say Joe Pyfer, but yes, it was. Yeah. Yeah, but then, as I said, it was an arm dislocation, but then Pyfer obviously came back and he's done his thing. But anyway, Stoltzfus, last time out, he lost to Nursultan Rubaev. That was May this year. He did have a very impressive win over Marc-Andre Barriou in November 2024, first round stoppage. Before that, he lost to Bruno Ferreira, and he beat Bruno Soriano. So it has been a bit up and down. He wins, he loses, he wins, he loses. So, hasn't been able to put together a consistent run. But, right, he did, lose his first UFC fight. So he was able to turn it around, and against Dwight Grant, right? So he's able to turn it around, but not being able to put anything consistent together. He's had stoppages, he's had submissions, but no consistency. And he goes up against Kelvin Gastelum, right? 33, 5'9", 71.5-inch reach. He's got a record of 19-10, won no contest. He is also coming off a loss in his last fight. Right, so that was against Joe Pyfer in June this year. Before that, he had the win over Daniel Rodriguez, but that was a whole heap of messes. You know what I mean? Wasn't going to make weight. The fight got moved several times. Like, it was just a mess. It was unfair on Rodriguez. But, that doesn't show on the record, right? It just shows the W. He lost to Sean Brady. Got caught in a Kimura in the third round. Did beat Chris Curtis when he moved back down to I think he moved to welterweight. Or was that? I forget. But yeah, he does have a win over Curtis. Gastelum is very good, right? He had the close fight with Adesanya, right? He demolished Johnny Hendricks, did the same with Tim Kennedy, impressive wins. Knocked out Michael Bisping, right? He beat Jacare Souza, but then there's just, missing weight and lackluster, performances. So it's been hard of late to bank on Gastelum. But I do think this is a winnable fight for him. So I'm going to take Kelvin Gastelum. I would not put money on it, right? Just because both can be very inconsistent. But I'm going to say Gastelum for the win. Right? I think also it's Noche UFC. He's Mexican. So there is that. So I'm hoping he, knuckles down and shows out. You know what I mean? So our featured fight of the main card is a lightweight clash between Rafa Garcia against Jared Gordon. So, Rafa gifted Garcia. He's 31, 5'7", 70-inch reach. He's got a 17-4 record. He's coming off a win in his last outing. He is 5-4 in the UFC. And he beat Vince Pichel. Last time, that was March 2025. Before that, he lost to Grant Dawson. But, Grant Dawson is very good. Right? He did beat Clay Guida. He beat Macheta. Lost to Dakar Close. Beat Jesse Ronson. Nathan Levy. He lost his first two fights in the UFC against Nasrat Hasparat and Chris Gutierrez. But both, very good. Right? Now, outside the UFC, he's got a good number of submissions. He does like a rear naked choke, but he also does like an armbar. Has a heel hook, right? So, he's got that. A few knockouts. So he is well-rounded, right? He's well-rounded. And he is going up against Jared Flash Gordon. 37, 5'9", 68-inch reach. He's got a 21-7 with one no contest record. He's also coming off a win in his last outing, right? He's 9-6 with one no contest in the UFC. He went 8-1 with Cage Fury FC. So last time out, he stopped Thiago Moyes in the first round. That was May this year and was a very good win. Now, it was a split decision against Nasrat Hasparat, with many thinking that Gordon won that fight. And he does have that just terrible luck when it comes to a split decision, right? I mean, the Pimlet fight wasn't a split, but I think, most people think he won that fight, right? The no contest against Bobby Green was unfortunate, right? I think it was an eye poke kind of situation. Right, he stopped Mark Madsen, which is, a very, very good, situation. I think he was the first to stop Madsen in their fight in March 2023. Right, so, he's got good wins. Right, he's well-rounded. He's got heart. Right, he's gritty. He's got heart. He's no nonsense. So this is an interesting clash. Boy, this is an interesting one, and a great fight to kind of take us into our last two. Oh, I think I'm taking Gordon, right? I think I'm taking our Flash man, Jared Gordon, for the win. And as I said, this is a great fight to take us to our co-main event.